I see dependent arising primarily as a contemplative tool, not as an explanation of the world, not as an explanation of samsara, not as an explanation of rebirth, but it is a contemplative tool applied to one's own private experience and a help to cultivate the seeds for wholesome conditions that bring this mind to flourishing, to fostering, to stillness, to clarity, to understanding, and to ultimately a freedom that comes from living in accordance with values. Living in accordance with values that are actually helpful to make individuals and our societies more harmonic and more happy and more content. I understand that this is not so easy to untangle the different concepts that are packed into dependent arising. While it's relatively easy to see the value of mindfulness and to practice the value of mindfulness, although even to explain the function of mindfulness is already not so easy, to unpack the teachings of dependent arising invariably involves taking apart concepts and speaking about things that are difficult to describe, difficult to delineate in the experience, psychological experience, mental experience, but also in the interrelation of the individual with the world. So that's one of the reasons why dependent arising is considered deep and difficult. And we hope that our course will help you unpack some of the notions in there, and we hope you bring some patience to this, because we can obviously not start from translations. We need to try to understand these terms from within the context in which they were used. That's why some history will be needed. That's why some Indic thinking will be needed. That's why the influence of differing other traditions will be looked at. And I do think that there is tremendous worth to this effort, because the principles of dependent arising underpin all notion of growth, all notion of development, all notion of maturation, all notion of purification, all notion of being able to change through choices and deliberate emphasis on how we use the forces our mind offer us. Now, some of that is gradual, some of that is minute in its effect, and it's cumulative. So it will need some time, and it will need some unpacking, and it will need continuity in our efforts. These efforts are both in terms of investigation, they're also in terms of cultivation, and obviously they're in terms of ethical living.